the Americans were also to experience grief on a national scale. Cape Canaveral, 1986. It was a freezing cold January day, and the Space Shuttle Challenger waited on the launch pad. A crew of 7 was on board, among them a civilian. Krista McAuliffe, a schoolteacher who had won her place in a national competition organized by NASA to boost interest in the shuttle.
When I'm up in that shuttle, and I'm not going to be teaching at Concord High School, I want everybody working real hard to make education what it should be in this country. Thank you very much.
The launch had already been delayed several times, and now the freezing weather was causing concern. McAuliffe and the rest of the crew didn't realize it, but behind the scenes there had been acrimonious arguments about whether the shuttle's booster rockets were safe to use in low temperatures. The morning of the launch was worryingly cold, but NASA decided to risk it. All over the US, people tuned in to see the New England schoolteacher and her colleagues go into orbit. In the crowd at Cape Canaveral were McAuliffe's family and friends, as well as her backup, Barbara Morgan, who would have been on Challenger if McAuliffe had somehow been unable to fly. Everything seemed fine.
Roll program confirmed. Challenger now heading downrange. We'll throttle down to 65%.
A minute passed, and then Mission Control issued a routine but fateful instruction.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
Flight GC, we've had negative contact, lost downlink.
Okay, all operators, watch your data carefully. Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction.
Flight throttle, go ahead. RSO reports vehicle exploded. Copy.
The crew compartment took 2 minutes to drop into the ocean. All 7 crew were killed. Engineers had warned NASA not to launch in freezing weather. They said that rubber seals in the booster engines, called O-rings, might fracture in the cold. And fracture they did. Video footage of the launch shows a plume of black smoke as the rubber rings, meant to seal the joints between the booster sections, begin leaking. Leaking fuel. At the command throttle up, the fuel ignites, and the main rocket explodes. Over a decade later, and shuttles now upgraded make routine flights into space. Since 1986, there have been no fatal accidents, but space experts know that it's just a matter of time.
It's inevitable that there will be a major accident. Even NASA sort of projects a catastrophic failure, 1 in 68 launches, and we have to be prepared to accept it or prepared to deal with that when it happens. The one thing we can't do is pretend that it's not going to happen.
The next stage in the conquest of space is taking place 200 miles above our heads. The most expensive object ever built, the International Space Station. The dream for the future is that one day space stations will house populations of hundreds, people living and working in a place where until very recently no living creature had ever been. It's a massive technological achievement, but only made possible by the pioneers who died to conquer the cold, dark vacuum above our heads.